Alright, cut and go.
Ready?
Yep.
Don't mind me, I'm just out here playing Thick Wick. For those that don't know, the Genesis Arms Gen 12 shotgun was in John Wick 4, and most of the time movie guns don't live up to the hype in real life. Most of the time, it's more movie magic than actual firearms functioning at the level they are presented in the movie at. However, that is not the case with the Genesis Arms Gen 12. This is the real deal and could turn almost anyone into John Wick. Well, kind of. Some training would probably help as well. But this shotgun is the real deal. It is the result of years of research and development, combining systems that typically don't go together, making what I will argue is the greatest advancement in shotguns since the blunderbuss or the Belgian A5. And most of you don't have any idea what those are, so let's just say ever. This is probably the best shotgun ever. That's what we'll be discussing today, how the Genesis Arms Gen 12 combines superior recoil mitigation with outstanding ergonomics and form factor that is phenomenal to make what I and John Wick consider the best shotgun ever made. We'll also talk about a couple downsides to the system, so sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy. I know that some of you are probably watching this thinking, what does Alabama Arsenal know about shotguns? And that observation, based on the fact that I rarely do a shotgun video, is fairly valid. But I actually have what I would call a pretty extensive shotgun collection, and I love when I see true innovation in the shotgun realm. There may have never been a bigger leap in shotgun performance than the Genesis Gen 12, and that's why I can tell you out of all of these shotguns, a pretty impressive collection if I do say so myself, my Gen 12 is my favorite. There are reasons for that. Recoil mitigation. 12 gauge tends to have a lot of recoil. Over the years, there have been many concepts by many companies on how to deal with that and make it lighter, and Genesis does this extremely well. Another huge thing is the ergonomics. And while we may be able to debate if the AR-15 is the greatest platform of all time, I don't think it's debatable that the AR-15 has the greatest ergonomics of all time. That's why every new platform features AR ergonomics. And that all carries over to the Gen 12, as they have engineered it to have those great AR ergonomics. Form factor is a huge thing as well, basically the overall package of the shotgun itself. Most shotguns are long and cumbersome, making them complicated to use in a tactical environment. And you can cut the barrels down, but they weren't really designed with that intention. The Gen 12 is designed from the ground up to be compact and use short barrels. Now they do make some longer barrel models as well, but let's face it, the shorties are what's so cool. Let's jump into recoil because I kind of think this is something that most of the other people talking about the Genesis Gen 12 just kind of gloss over. They say it has really low recoil for a 12 gauge and move on. But there's actually a lot of engineering that makes that happen. It's not just magic. When you look at the Gen 12, you may think the operating system is direct impingement like an AR, or you may think it's direct blowback, but you'd be wrong on both accounts. The Gen 12 actually uses a self-regulating short recoil operating system. In this system, the barrel actually moves back with the bolt until they unlock, and the bolt completes the rest of the cycle. This system is extremely common in pistols. Most of your pistols use some kind of iteration of it, but it's pretty rare for a shoulder-fired weapon. What it does do is help significantly lower the recoil, and that's why one of the few other shoulder-fired weapons that you see this used in is the Barrett M82A1 or M107. The Barrett M82A1 is renowned for minimizing the recoil of the Monster 50 BMG, making it almost comfortable for nearly any shooter. In fact, if you shot one or know someone who has, you know the gun gives you more of a firm push than an actual snappy recoil, and recoil is far less than you might expect from 50 BMG. A very similar recoil system is used in the Gen 12 to help tame 12 gauge shotgun shells, making them, dare I say, pleasant to shoot. Birdshot just flies out of it, and I would say recoil is comparable to a 5.56. When you go up to buckshot or slugs, there's a little bit more recoil, of course, but I would still say far less than a traditional shotgun. There are some more considerations the Genesis has built in to help with the felt recoil of the shooter, like the adaptive tactical stock. This stock has a nice soft rubber butt pad that further helps to soften that recoil even more. Traditional shotgun ergonomics have always been a little challenging. A shooter can get good with them through training and practice, but I don't think any traditional shotgun has ever been heralded as a marvel of ergonomic precision. On the other hand, Eugene Stoner's AR series of rifles is often discussed as the most ergonomic rifle ever developed, and that is evident in most newly designed rifles mimicking the AR controls. This is significant to us because the Genesis Gen 12 doesn't merely mimic AR controls, it quite literally is an AR-10. That's right, the lower on the Gen 12 is a DPMS pattern AR-10. Everything is right where I would say 99.9% of most shooters are accustomed to. Good pistol grip, easy to reach, good trigger, safety, easy to reach, quick and intuitive, easy magazine release, last round bolt hold open, and bolt release. No time spent learning a new system. If you know an AR well, you know how to run this shotgun well. Genesis Arms does beef up all the small parts on the interior to deal with the 12 gauge, but you can use any AR trigger grip, pistol grip, or buttstock you like. Mine came with the Hyperfire trigger and is very good and pulling at about 4.5 pounds on my scale. Genesis Arms uses Hogue grips. I feel the softer rubberized material also contributes to the lower felt recoil. Now, of course, the magazines are proprietary, but they fit a standard AR-10 mag well. They make 5 and 10 round stick mags. Genesis also has been teasing a drum magazine that should be coming soon. Also, I'd like to say that the price is very reasonable on these mags, especially compared to some other systems that have proprietary magazines. One of the absolute biggest features is reloading. Traditional shotguns have to be flipped upside down and then have the rounds inserted one at a time to get the gun back to capacity. There are people who are very good at this method, but no matter how good you are at loading a traditional shotgun, I don't think you'll ever get faster than dropping a magazine with one button, inserting another 10-round magazine, hitting the bolt release, and being back up and running with another 10 rounds. There are a lot of phenomenal features of the Gen 12, but this alone makes it superior to most other shotguns on the market. Another thing that makes the Genesis Gen 12 better in my eyes than most of the competitors is the form factor. And that is, the design of this shotgun makes it very easy to make it a short-barreled shotgun. Many times, shotgun users don't need a long barrel and a great pattern at distance. Many times, shotgun users are just looking for something that can release a whole lot of hate in a general direction and do it in a compact package. Whether it be breaching doorways, room clearing, or just home defense, a smaller package is much more useful and more than adequate at the distances being used. The design of the Gen 12 allows it to be shortened a great deal. This is a 7-inch shotgun, and they do even have 5-inch guns available. That may not sound like a big deal, but many shotgun designs simply cannot accommodate barrel lengths that short. It would either severely limit magazine capacity, or the recoil mechanism itself won't allow anything that short. None of this matters if the shotgun wasn't reliable. And because sometimes when you innovate, making different systems work together, literally doing something that has never been done before, reliability can be an issue, but that is not the case with the Genesis Gen 12. This will run basically any shotgun ammo you can come up with, and I know the big question is, will it run the cheap Walmart stuff? And the answer is a resounding yes. In fact, all the mag dumps, all the fast shooting, all of that was done with Walmart, the cheapest you can find 12 gauge. Because I'm gun poor, I can't have these really nice guns and shoot quality 12 gauge ammo too. All kidding aside, I don't want a shotgun that can't run Walmart ammo, because if you and your buddies are going to the range to shoot shotguns for a few hours, you know you're shooting Walmart shells because they're cheap. So no worries, this almost $3,000 shotgun will shoot the $100 for $30 shells all day long and just dump them as fast as you can pull the trigger. As good as the Gen 12 is, everything has a downside, and the big detractor for the Gen 12 is the price. This thing is unfortunately expensive and will be prohibitively expensive for many. But innovation ain't cheap. I got a comment on social media informing me that you can get 6 Mossberg 500s for the same price as a Genesis Gen 12. And to that I say, this is America, and if you want 6 Mossberg 500s, you go get yourself 6 Mossberg 500s. For those of us that want the ultimate shotgun experience available today, there's the Gen 12. It's kind of rare when you have a gun that is extremely fun to shoot, exceptionally engineered to perform, and it does perform at an uncompromising level, all while still fulfilling a legitimate role for anyone as a home defense weapon. Fun, cool, innovative, and useful don't get combined too often, but that is exactly what you get with the Genesis Gen 12. And on top of all that, it's John Wick's shotgun too. But what do I know? I'm just a guy that lives in the woods with a few too many guns. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because as always, we have some really big reviews in the works that you won't want to miss. If you want to know what those reviews are way before they hit the YouTube channel, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where you can see what's being reviewed in real time. If you want to help support Alabama Arsenal, the absolute best way to do that is through Patreon. These videos can be surprisingly expensive to make, and every little bit helps and is greatly appreciated. There's also Alabama Arsenal gear available right below the video if you want to go out and represent. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching.